So I actually just learned something about this radio, because I don't read the manual, and usually when they give you a 2-page, one piece of paper manual, this is literally one piece of paper. That's the manual. It's kind of a joke when you think about it. So, so this radio here, I couldn't figure out the VFO mode. It literally says,
Frequency mode.
just push the pound key.
A.
Oops, exit.
58.
Now, this is still the only radio that I know that does this. I got A and B. We've got alpha tag and frequency. When we key it up, it shows us our PL tone. It shifts our frequency. I have another radio that drives me nuts, and it will not show the frequency shift. It just shows that frequency. You key it up, even though you're offset, it doesn't show it. It's got USB-C. It's got a display about this size, but it doesn't give you this alpha tag. So this radio here is, in my opinion, one of the best uses of a display. I don't have to wonder what the name of the repeater is. I don't have to wonder what the name of the frequency is. And this radio also does 220. And I put it on a watt meter, and I found that it was probably a watt or less, but it's enough to get into a repeater that's actually not real close. What I don't like about it and all the other new radios is that when the screen times out, you absolutely cannot see anything. If we take a radio like this radio, and the reason that I like these UV5s, or UV-K5, or whatever you want to call them, Quanshangs, K5s, is that even after the frequency display times out and the backlight turns off, you can still read the display. It's not a color display, it's just an LCD display. You can invert the display if you want. I don't know what the backlight timer is set to on this one. It's quite long. The display will get scratched on these radios because it does actually sit flush or stick out just a hair. What in the hell is this thing set to? It must be set to like 30 seconds or something nuts. I have the single sideband firmware on here, and it's pretty cool to play around with it for sure. Let me get in here. TX power. I don't kind of really like what they did to the menu. I liked how it was before when it looked like the regular thing. I want to try out this scrambler thing since I have two of these. I wish that this radio would do like the Radtel, where it would show me the name. Also, what's kind of nice is it does have the scan list 1 and 2. But what I'd like to see is a radio with USB-C and zones, multiple zones, or talk groups, or whatever you want to call it, to where like I can put a bank of channels, you know, bank 1, bank 2, bank 3, like A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So like for the 999 memories, 100 channels per bank, 10 banks. Okay, I'm trying to find the screen timeout. Battery saver, mic bar. I don't really understand what the mic bar is. If I turn it on or off, it still works. It still has audio. Backlight, 2 minutes? Holy crap. Okay. That's ridiculous. Alright. Five seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't think it worked. Okay. We'll just turn the backlight off. Okay. We can still read this. We don't have to have the backlight on. You know? But the other radio, if you have the backlight off, you're not going to see anything. Okay. But, and then the other thing with the Radtel is the antenna that comes with it is absolutely junk. It is the worst one I've ever seen. Let's see if I can find it. I had it sitting up here somewhere. Yeah. Okay. It looks like it's metal, but it is very, very, very cheap plastic. I think it gives the radio an SWR problem, to be honest. It seems like it's very mismatched. I generally, though, don't give a crap about antennas, because I don't talk on these radios. I use them to monitor, I use them to listen, I take them for emergencies. I don't need some gigantic, ginormous antenna, you know, sticking out of my coat pocket when I've got this radio in my pocket, you know. So, now, I'm more of a functional, like, you know, can I take this radio with me? Can I easily charge it? Can I put it in my coat? You know, I mean, is it there when I need it? Is it gonna work when I need it? You know. So, this one here, I do not care for the bottom of it because it doesn't have legs. There's no tits on the bottom. The battery clip is plastic. Kind of reminds me of the really crappy TalkPod radios. Except for the TalkPod radios, I can wiggle the battery back and forth. The keypad has this rubber stripe in the middle, which is a very nice touch. The rest of the buttons are all rubber. This radio actually is quite nice. And it's nice to not see a stupid-ass flashlight in the middle of the thing. Okay? That just reeks of cheap junk radio. Even though this one has it. I do like the idea on the new Baofangs. Put the flashlight on the bottom. I mean, you know. If you're going to put one on the top, put a super bright, ridiculous light worth talking about. So, anyway, I should have some radios here today later on. I think they'll show up today. And we'll be able to find out for sure if the Ray Dottity GC6 or 5 or whatever it is interchanges with the Baofeng batteries. And we'll be able to do a deal on that. Also, I might be going to the Hamfest in Arizona in Mesa tomorrow, but I really can't think of anything I need, and I don't really have anything I can sell. So I'm like, it's gonna cost me quite a bit if I drive my truck. I don't know if you guys know, but I drive a diesel truck most of the time, and I don't go real far. But you know, I'm a truck person. I don't like driving cars, especially. We have all these crazy California drivers that keep moving to Arizona, and you almost kind of need something like an armored tank to survive driving around here with the way that they do and the things they do. And the people in Arizona don't drive real great either, so but you know, I'm always picking up stuff and doing things, and you know, like I use my truck for, you know, hauling things, and I'm not one of these guys that go buy a little pretty truck and put a lift kit and tires on it and drive around burning up mud terrains. I actually have an F-350 diesel work truck, and that's what I use it for. It's got a long bed and a crew cab. You know, I don't believe in trucks that I can't fit a 2x4 in. And otherwise, you might as well just have an SUV, you know. So, we're debating whether or not to go to the Ham Fest, because I do have the little Volkswagen Rabbit, but I don't want to cram everybody into that thing just to save, you know, $20 on fuel. So, at the same time, I don't really want to spend $100 in fuel to go to a Ham Fest and then not buy anything, you know. So, I mean, the holidays are here, and still got Christmas presents to order and things like that. So anyway, I just thought I would let you guys know about the Radtel. So in this one also, nothing's real documented, but this is like the scan button if you hold it down. But the radio, it doesn't have any settings for the scan. It will just scan, and then the first signal it comes upon, that's where it stops, and it's done. It won't. There's no scanning resume. So normally I have a radio out here, and I put it on scan, and it just, you know, resumes. You know, so I don't have to fiddle with it. So you see that opened the squelch. It's not going to do anything ever again until I click scan again. And you'll have to do that every single time, and I find that to be annoying. So, with so many different radios out there, you know what I mean? And there's, like, I've got the little tiny antenna on here, and there's so many of these stupid repeaters that put out hash and trash, like, randomly. And it's not somebody keying it up, it's just like the repeaters seem to go wonky and then like oscillator. I don't know what they're doing. Several of them I just had to like just go ahead and delete them because they would. One guy's local repeater is in his backyard and his is like the worst. Also, a lot of them do it when it snows. So anyway. If you want to buy one of these, I'll put a link down there later on when I get time. But unless you're really bored, I don't really think this is like the radio to buy. I would really, if you don't have a bunch of radios, I would get the K5. I think it's just like, especially if you like to tinker with it, and there's so much more fun stuff you can do with it. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you later when I got some other stuff, hopefully. So we'll catch you on the flip side.